Typically Earth. I think like Atlantean.
So it is a seemingly recognizable, familiar environment in terms of geography.
Yes, very much so. But they're always in relation to kind of being part of a underground. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called during World War II. These French kind of underground. People trying to go against the Nazis, sort of thing. So, in other words,
the resistance movement.
Yeah, resistance. They're always in a resistance place, and
you are.
Yes.
So you were basically part of the coterie that was battling. There was a lot of battles about the proper use of energy in Atlantis, and the same story is true in Sumer. The same story is true in Egypt. In Egypt, you have the story of Osiris and Set, yes? Fighting each other. In the Christian story, you have Jesus, and Jesus has to fight off the devil, yes? In Sumer, you have the story of the brothers, the two brothers. They are stepbrothers, actually. They have the same father with different mothers. They are part of a cosmic pantheon. And the father is Anu, and the sons are Ea, or Anki. And Anki was known as the Lord of Earth. And then the stepbrother Enlil, the Lord of the Command. And there was constant, these stories again are cosmic stories that these various civilizations held on to, and they are simple stories, very childlike stories in your terms. And all the details have been lost, but the truth of them is there's been a lot of struggle between who wants to help and who wants to harm. Our vehicle discussed a little bit of this last night. So what you are remembering in your dreams and what you are looking to resolve is often each of you will have to go back in time and meet an era or two where you have unresolved conflicts and where you have died in that lifetime and you did not achieve what you wanted, and you often feel as if you failed or if you're marginalized or something in your soul is unsettled. Now, you are certainly not the only one. There are millions of beings who are playing this game out, and the problems in Atlantis, so-called Atlantis, and the visiting cosmonauts and all of these stories, including Pleiadian stories, because the Pleiadian stories would be giants coming from the Pleiades, and their story is told by Plato. Plato? Yes, Plato. And his Timaeus and whatever. And what you are is sort of like a person who's been in a war, and they're now home and they're safe from the war, but they can't stop dreaming about the war because they were traumatized in it. You might want to draw it out, Randy, whether you are an artist or not, even if you do stick figures. You all would be amazed at how much you can resolve just by making drawings. And it would be a really good exercise for any of you when you are having specific dreams, especially repetitive dreams or dreams that you know are about some timelines or deeper things, to have a notebook, go to the dollar store, some such, buy a little plain pad paper, get yourself colored pencils or any kind of pencils, magic markers not so much. Something that moves a little slower. And draw out the dream. Draw out, even in stick figures, the significant elements of the dream. And you can label the dream and say, this is my resistance dream. And any other ones that come up that are resistance dreams, you label them resistance dreams. And you don't analyze them, you draw. But after a certain amount of time, what's happening is you are letting the part that has memory express itself through creativity. And if you are too controlling, and you are a good artist, and you think, and you are logical too much, then and you are right-handed, then you would draw with the left hand even. The non-dominant hand will often bring out information that is blocked from the conscious mind. And definitely there was big resistance in Atlantis, because Atlantis was involved with using very powerful crystals, powerful energy, major genetic experimentation. And we were speaking earlier about the books in the Bible, let's say the books that were excluded from the Bible for one reason or another. And these books are full of tremendous information, and they all speak of the gods coming down and mixing their genes with animals and doing experimentations. And in Sumer you will see bulls with human heads. Yes, this is a very distinct. You would see the eagle man, the eagle head in the man's body. Yes. In Egypt, you have the mixing and mingling of all kinds of things. When you go into the Hindu stories, you have the princes, the human princes, whether it is in the Ramayana or the Mahabharata. You have the princes fighting some evil forces with their pal and their buddy Hanuman. Hanuman is the monkey man. And the ancient stories talk about the genetic engineering that happened to create a Hanuman, how very intelligent beings were devolved at one time into more simple characters. So you were fighting, and you were against some of the, let's say, the mindless experimentation that was being done. And you saw the suffering in many beings. You saw the anguish in the eyes of the human-animal hybrids. And to this day, there have been many reports from people who believe they have gone into underground complexes, military people, others, etc., who have seen these experimentations that are carried out to this day. So what you are wanting to resolve from long ago, as you find a solution to it in the now and allow the memories to come forward, you will help resolve the current crisis in the same area of extreme genetic engineering and mixing things together that really have no business being mixed together. Does that help you?
To some degree, some of the dreams actually deal with today as well. And what's interesting, where I also was curious about, is that sometimes I feel like there's some reality, and you're alluding to this, is playing out in that space. And
it's simultaneous.
Yeah.
And we would say, in today's world, it looks as if you have a specific job and a life and family and all of this. But each of you has probable versions of yourself that may be exploring a different part of reality. And you may have a counterpart or probable self that is a scientific, deeply engaged today and is in conflict just as the old self was in conflict. Here's the trick. If you find the Atlantean self, here's the wonderful thing about dream state. If you can learn to wake up in your dreams and say to yourself, I'm dreaming. The dream state is fluid. And so at any moment you can rewrite the dream. Most of you participate in dreams, or you observe your dreams. And sometimes you are both participant and observer at the same time in a dream. We want you to be the architect, to realize that you are dreaming, especially a conflict dream, and to rewrite it. Now, many of you, if you are in a dream and it's a persecution dream and it's a problem, you solve it by waking up, yes? Out of that reality. And that's fine. But the art of where the inner awakening will take you is that you will say, I am dreaming. And then any solution that you want, you can apply to that dream. Again, all realities exist simultaneously, and realities are built in the dream state. You change the outcome in the dream, change the dream, how it goes, and then you end up changing the reality. What you want to do, resistance involves what? Fighting, exactly. What did we say in our vehicle today about fighting? You get involved in fighting, and you think that you have to fight to get what you want to solve the problem. So ponder this, Randy. How can you resolve the problem in the dream state by not resisting it? You can only change it. And we'll give you a clue. You often resist what is you.